FM HD3 Austin.
K242CC Austin. The new Talk Radio 96.3 and 1370. Your home for Aggie sports. Previously.
They're my friends.
So what is the Facebook etiquette when you meet somebody? Do you just, when you meet somebody, then you go home and you friend them on Facebook?
I usually tell people, I'm going to friend you on Facebook. Friend me on Facebook. It's part of the dialogue now.
Bigger than ever.
Bushon Show. The Craig Bushon Show.
But it would mean nothing without a woman or a girl.
Yeah. Welcome. Yeah. Well, this is Craig Bushon.
You see,
but our brand new show, brand new format from 4 o'clock to 5 o'clock.
Man made the car.
Women's Prospective with Lisa Copeland. How are you?
Great. How are you doing?
Doing well. Look at the cameras.
Oh, my God.
Isn't this awesome?
It is
Zoom that in, Casey. It's good stuff. 720p, just, high
I
definition.
want to know where my makeup artist was and my hair. I mean, you lied to me.
How did I didn't.
You told me I was going to have a whole staff here if I was going to be
Wait,
on
listen,
TV.
I didn't know. Listen, I figured a person like you don't need makeup. No, listen. Makeup? Come on.
Well,
you look fine.
I've been outside. I've been rained on. I've been drizzled on and, racing to get here. It's just what I do.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
But it's exciting. Look at 2 cameras. Look at this. I got one pointed at me. Got one pointed at you.
I'm
we got
scared.
split angles. We got Casey. What can we do here? We got folks who can do
We
what?
can do it all.
We can do it all.
We're right now. They're looking at a split angle. Both of y'all. Lisa on the left, Craig on the right. We'll flip back and forth.
My good side. That's good stuff. Again, that's Casey. He's the man. The engineering behind this is good stuff. We beta tested this January or February, and
it took us that long to get it working.
We got it kinked out. Now we can have full 720. And what the problem was, Lisa, is that we couldn't get the video quality.
Okay.
And it just.
Do we have an editor or something, or do I get creative review on this?
No, you're absolutely live.
Now?
Your creative review is what you decide to say.
It is what it is. Okay.
But that's the exciting thing.
I know that the ladies are totally siding with me on this one.
The ladies, so it's a bigger deal. I think that for guys, they'd come in here, they wouldn't care. No. Most guys, they don't care. No. Trust me, they'd have a flipping beer gut hanging out, and they wouldn't care.
They wouldn't care.
Ladies,
we care.
On the camera? What?
What?
Why?
Mm-hmm.
Why is that?
Mm-hmm. Because.
Why?
Know, it's something we
That's
do.
vain.
It is vain.
That's like vanity or something. Isn't that a sin?
No.
Oh.
It is what it is.
Folks, I put a post up. Hey, we do have, we haven't talked about it, but Facebook, we just started launching womensperspective.com Facebook.
Oh, I know.
And
I'll start promoting that this week.
Absolutely. So, folks, go over to womensperspective.com, the Facebook page. Just like it. Okay, and I put some posts up there. Yeah, these I'll take full credit, or you can be mad at me, whatever. I put some stuff up there that I thought was interesting, that I think that guys and gals look at it in a different way.
Well, I'm going to start editing you on some of this stuff.
Well, you could comment on it. You could put your stuff up, and I'll comment on it. It's the yin yang.
That's right.
Folks, you'll look at the logo, right? It's pink and it's black. Okay, pink would be for the women, black would be for the men, but the yin yang, insignia, the logo, if you will, is, pink and black. And it's because the two worlds are always colliding. It's that synergy, and it's about bringing different perspectives and prospectives. It's how they all come together. And because we're all in this together, I mean, Lisa, it really is true that a lot of society out there divides us. It doesn't unite us.
Right. Absolutely. I was almost running late here today, and I was downtown, and my son, I'm going to give a call out because I know they're all in the car listening right now, and JT and the recruit class 136 from Teeks Fire Academy and down in College Station.
Yeah, I love the people at Teeks, yes.
Yes, I'm so proud of him. But so he was in town this weekend with it was probably 15 young firefighters, all from Canada.
Oh, Canada. Can we have the Canada? Doesn't Canada have something that it's very similar to ours, but it's different? Their national anthem. Because you've got an interesting thing to talk about that I thought, I can't say I'm surprised, but I want to wait for the Canada theme. So we have a backdrop.
Let's see.
Oh, here it is. It's actually cool. I like that.
Okay.
So, go ahead. So you had this...
So we had this great lunch with these young Canadian firefighters and my son, and so I said, what caused you, why are you firefighters? Why are you this? Why are you that? And very interesting what happens in Canada. They said, oh, it's wonderful in Canada. We've got our taxes they're all fixed and the government takes care of us.
Fixed.
And I
That's a
hope
great
that
term.
I hope you boys are not getting mad at me right now, because I did tell you what I thought. And you had talked
Well, what
earlier.
did they say? They believe
They
in
love
what?
it. They believe in it.
They believe in what, socialism?
In socialism.
They actually said,
They
we
did.
believe in socialism.
Yes, and these are the great young men, and they're brave, and they're firefighters, and they're just, good-looking group of young guys, but they're
But
totally
they're nuts.
bought in.
They're just crazy.
They're bought in.
So, okay, did you now I know you, Lisa, you had to have questioned them on
Well,
this.
a little bit. The nice young gentleman that was sitting next to me, and I said, so you buy into this? I mean, you really want the government to have control of your health care and everything that you do? And he said, yeah, it works. There are no poor people in Canada. There's no murder in Canada. In fact, he was knifed or he was held up on 6th Street Friday night for his money.
Yeah.
And he said that wouldn't have happened in Canada. He said because the government takes care of it, everybody, so therefore everyone's got money. And I said, promise you that's not how it
There's
works.
no crime in Canada.
No, they leave their doors open at night, they told
Can
me.
you, Casey, do you have access to the computer there at all? I know
I'm
you put
looking it up myself.
I need someone to, please, production staff. Anyway, let's look up the Canadian stats on crime.
Yeah, it'd be interesting.
There's no crime, no shiving, no
and
getting shanked
absolutely
in the
no
streets.
murder, they're telling me.
And no
murder.
murders. Okay, well, listen, we'll just have to fact check this.
Okay, that's good.
I think, who is that that says that on CNN? The guy who looks like an elf.
There's a few of them.
What's his name? Anderson Cooper.
Anderson
And
Cooper.
I like Anderson Cooper.
I like his mother.
He is my, I don't
Gloria
know.
Vanderbilt is his mother.
What?
I had Gloria Vanderbilt
Gloria
in the
Vanderbilt?
80s. Yeah, it's his mother.
Really?
It is.
I do see a resemblance
So
now that I
he
think
has a
about
good
it.
mama.
Well, it's like, what's her name? Giada. The cook. Her father or grandfather is Oscar de la Renta.
See? I mean,
That's why they make it, it's all freaking rigged.
they look good.
But it's all that they know everybody. That's why they get
Cooper
big.
looks good on television until he opens his mouth. Otherwise, up until then, he's good.
So how did you, do you have something there, Casey?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Some statistics about Canada. These brave firefighters, in full disclosure, at least 40% of my family are firefighters.
Right.
I love firefighters on my father's side. I mean, from battalion chiefs retired down to guys who are, dragging the back of the hose.
Right.
And I love firefighters.
I do
They're
too.
brave. They're first responders. But it doesn't mean some of them aren't crazy. So, but go ahead. What are the
These
stats
boys are a
Now,
little crazy.
about crime?
In typical Wikipedia fashion.
Wikipedia.
Yeah, reliable source.
Yeah, it's a crack
It's the-
staff of Wikipedia.
It's the best Google comes up with.
Okay.
The answer is yes and no. Historically, the violent crime rate in Canada is lower than that of the U.S., and this continues to be the case. For example, in 2000, the United States rate for robberies was 65% higher, its rate for aggravated assault was more than double, and its murder rate was triple that of Canada. However, the rate of some property crime types is lower in the U.S. than in Canada. For example, in 2006, the rates of vehicle theft were 22% higher in Canada. Violent crimes are a smaller fraction of all crimes, therefore the difference between the two countries is less than the homicide rate might make it seem, and the overall rates of all crimes are generally close. So like I said, yes and no.
So it's all on how you spin it.
It is.
Exactly.
Or the Kool-Aid that their parents gave them when they were growing up.
Oh, you think it's the parents' fault?
I do. I loved what you said, because I can tell you both of my kids have voted since the day they could vote, and I took them down, both of them, to vote their first election.
Okay. And what'd
Yeah.
you tell them?
I told them who to vote for.
What? What? I told them, you're voting for Bush. That's who it had to be, right? Bush?
Uh-huh.
What?
Or McCain.
Was it McCain? Oh, McCain. I guess it would be that. McCain. I forgot about McCain. I forgot McCain even ran.
No.
He was that uninteresting.
Very uninteresting.
You didn't tell him who to vote for. Did
Yeah,
you?
I did. Yeah, I did.
Oh, my gosh.
It doesn't mean they did it. I didn't go
Did
into
you tell
voting
him
booth with
why?
them. Absolutely.
Good.
Absolutely.
Because I think it's very important. I think that there's a lot of young adults out there who vote because they watch, Comedy Central,
right.
and they think it's an actual news channel.
Right. I agree.
And it's not.
I've worked so much on the campaigns, and so my kids have had the benefit of meeting, very high-level people in the government. And so, they really did come up with their own decision. But, my daughter worked for Kay Bailey Hutchison when she was running for governor, and she ran the campaign for Texas A&M. And, I think that they've come to good conclusions on their own. But I did make sure that they showed up the day to vote. It was interesting when talking to the Canadians, and I said, tell me about your government. Well, they said, well, we have a prime minister. I said, great. Do you vote for the prime minister? Tell me about it. And several of them said, you know what? You do, but we've never voted. And I said, how come you've never voted? And they said, because we don't know what to vote for. I mean, we don't know what the candidates are. We don't know.
So they're not paying attention.
They're not.
They're not engaged.
They don't know the issues, but what they do know is that the government's going to take care of them.
Here's what I
line too.
Here's what I know is that we have far more people in Canada. What's the difference in the population, Casey, between Canada, the great nation of Canada?
It is a great nation.
It is,
mm-hmm.
Except for the French, and the United States of America.
Let's see. It's coming up here.
Anyway, so while he's looking that up, who do we have on the show today? Who's our guest?
We've got Christopher and Melinda Garvey. They're the co-publishers of Austin Woman Magazine and ATX Man.
Oh,
and I just love the whole dynamic of these two because they have dueling magazines.
Yes.
And so, in
fact,
we're bringing
them together
Melinda
here
right now. The phone number to call in.
She's actually on the line right now.
Oh, good, because she just texted me the wrong phone number. Okay.
Are you on the line right now?
We're here.
See, you found your way.
Oh, good. I was trying to text you.
Well, welcome to Woman's Prospective.
Excellent. We're glad to be here. Thanks for having us.
Absolutely. It's good stuff. So tell us what we need to know about our guests. Or we'll let them tell us.
I think I'm going to let you tell them. I just know that they're fantastic, and I've always been a huge fan of Austin Woman Magazine. I've read it for the whole 9 years it's been out. And I love Melinda's passion for what she does. And now I'm going to brag on you, girl. She's now the entrepreneur in residence for UT. And then Christopher, who I think we talked about last week on the show with Beth South, he's got this great Australian accent. So he pretty much gets away with anything with the ladies.
Yeah, Lisa, how many times have I told you it's New Zealand?
Oh,
there you go.
Gosh, I'm so fired.
It
is New Zealand.
And I had no idea I'm calling into the Women's Perspective show, but I guess that kind of goes with the territory considering I'm co-publishing Austin Woman Magazine.
That's right. That's right.
I'll tell you a quick story that when I was single many years ago, I used to go, hey, come on over here. I'd like to have a great conversation with you. And we pretend we were from other places like Australia or something,
Or New Zealand.
Or New Zealand. I never actually.
Straight.
I didn't know anything about New Zealand, so I couldn't pretend to know the map, the geography, because you have to know the backdrop. You got to be able to tell the story to meet the ladies, because the ladies do love a man with an accent.
Uh-huh.
But anyway, so we have this. You've got your dueling magazines, I guess, now, right? Tell the folks a little bit about both magazines, and now you have ATX Man. Let's give us a backdrop on that.
Well, Austin Woman is in its 10th year now, and they're not really dueling magazines. Austin Man has been kind of on the back burner, if you will, almost since the beginning, and it's actually due to the fact that a lot of men asked us to start this magazine. So we think we complement each other now, if you will.
Absolutely. See, that's
Melinda's
one reason.
Laughing. I just heard Melinda giggle.
That's exactly. You picked up that too. So why are you laughing?
Well, I'm just chuckling about them being. They actually are very complimentary. And the interesting thing is, of course, Christopher, from the very beginning, our story is that he was actually one of the very first advertisers in Austin Woman Magazine, which is how we met. Believe it or not. So our history is very intertwined with the magazine, and he's been around literally since the very beginning. We got engaged at the night before the 1 year anniversary of Austin Woman. So he's certainly been around and been supporting the magazine for years and years and years. And so the overriding theme, all the times when he would be out, we would be out at all these events that we sponsor, and being there, as a supportive husband. All the guys would walk up to him and say, well, what about us guys? We love what you're doing with Austin Woman. When are we going to do something for the guys? When are we going to do something for the guys? So we finally took the leap, and it's really fun to have him by my side now, not just as my plus one, but as my partner.
Now, obviously, there's a lot of things you learned launching your first magazine. How much has that helped, obviously, launching, now ATX Man? I mean, now you've worked all the kinks out. It probably makes it a much cleaner launch than maybe the first time 10 years ago you were doing it.
Yeah, the only kink we didn't work out was the economy kink, but, I'm not sure anybody can work that out.
Well, hey, but haven't you been watching the debates, man? They're getting it all figured out.
Oh, yes.
Oh, for sure.
Absolutely. I can tell that. I'm feeling ever so confident. No, you're actually very right. We've got, we certainly, we knew how to do it. I think we had a good pulse on overall in the Austin community at large. So I think we knew what our readers wanted. We were really well respected with Austin Woman, so that kind of naturally, launched us really well. Plus, we also know that, women are a little bit different than men. There are definitely some brave men out there who would, read Austin Woman and be proud of it. But, frankly, women don't care. Like, we see a cool magazine, we're like, hey, what's that? We'll read it. We'll read about anybody. We're always seeking out that knowledge. So it doesn't matter that the magazine says ATX man. We're going to read it, we're going to devour it, love it, and then we're going to take it home to our spouses. And we understood that would be a real key distribution for us, where it's not just the men picking it up, because men in this town aren't used to picking up magazines just for them. There wasn't anything really out there. So we knew that women, once that they embrace the magazine, and I'll tell you, I can't tell you how many women, I go to these women's luncheons and I'll bring Austin Woman now, and they say, well, why don't you bring Austin Man too? We want to read it. So I think that's pretty cool.
They want to know what we're thinking.
Isn't that the truth? It's like, it reminds me years ago when you catch men reading Cosmopolitan magazine but having Sports Illustrated on the outside, so that people wouldn't know what they were reading 20 years ago.
They were taking the quizzes in Cosmo right along with the women, right?
Exactly. Right. I mean, I love ATX, man. I mean, it's just a great magazine. I'm kind of anxious for you guys to do it monthly versus quarterly.
Oh, man. Yeah. Oh.
Hey, if you need a man interview, I'm available.
No plans just yet.
Oh, come on. I'm just trying to push you along here. Because you guys, tell us, really. There's not any stress in having a magazine, deadlines, advertisers. And the two of you live in the same house and have probably one of the greatest marriages I know. And I told Craig, I said, we have to have them on the show because they're just not normal. They can actually work together. They can, they're happy. They've got the cutest little boy ever back. Oh, he's so cute.
And that brings up a question. A lot of people today there's a lot of high unemployment. You talked about the economy a little bit, and you have a spouse that's home now, a lot more spouses at home. And, what are some of the things, maybe some people need to work together more. Maybe there's some businesses that people can start as a husband and wife, and but what are some of the things? What are some of the key secrets to being successful working together?
Well, I think that
now Christopher's laughing.
I will say that the one thing that we did in the beginning and that we continue to do is we set the boundaries. We really talk about stuff. Sometimes we talk in loud voices and loud, feisty voices, but that's still talking, right?
I call that arguing in my house.
Certainly, we talk about things, and we really try to keep it separate. We definitely have a cutoff at home, where it's like, okay, done, no more work. We really have to define that, and I think that from just anecdotal things that we know and from doing a lot of reading on sort of the subject of couples working together, the number one reason why couples break up during a kind of business partnership is because they lose everything else about their life. In other words, their whole relationship becomes just about the business, and it can easily do that, of course, because Austin Woman is so much a part of our lives, and ATX Man. So I think that we have to be really careful of that. But we always do say that our 4-year-old knows more about the magazine than any 4-year-old should, but.
Yeah, he was actually reading it on the way home in the car today, and I think it's the hardest thing to turn off at the end of the day, but you just have to do it, because if you don't, then the home life, the family life will suffer. And I'm not saying we're perfect at it, but we're trying to get better at it.
Well, okay, so, but, but your magazine, everyone is just so wildly interesting. I think I would sit home all night and just talk about the people you have in the magazine and the events you get to go to. There is not an event in this town that either ATX Man or Austin Woman does not sponsor. You guys are not only, just a great magazine, you're wildly generous back to the community. And I can tell you, as one of your longtime advertisers, you're good to your advertisers. And I'm going to do a big shout out for you guys. How do you do it? It seems like every single night you have something, you have to be everything to everybody. How do you do it?
Well, it is tough, and we have a lot of fun. We love being out there in the community and supporting everybody and doing everything we can. Small side note, we have had to expand, and we have brought somebody on board who's actually going to start next week helping us just take care of this our philanthropy and being out in the community, all about and all for Austin, because we have a lot of fun, but we can't do it all. And as much as we try to, it's, you got to draw the line somewhere.
We had a bunch of events. I mean, obviously we had a lot of events when it was just Austin Woman, and it's amazing because HX Man, I mean, everybody's just so crazy about it, and they want us to come to this and that, and so people know this about me. I probably actually shouldn't say this on the radio because I pretty much never say no, because I just think, we have so many different outlets, so many different avenues to be able to promote. We've got a great website. I just say yes to everything because I love events. I love supporting the community. It's part of our core mission. But I will, even in October it was getting a little crazy, and finally Chris and I actually sat down and talked, and we really looked at the events, and we said, okay, we're going to go to these. We're going to say no and not go to these, or we're going to have staff go to them. And our staff has been wonderful. They've been going to events and out there in the community as well. So we're just we're just trying to keep that balance. But we actually have such a great time because we have so many friends out there after doing this for so long that when we go to the events, it's sort of like out there being with your friends anyway, because we know the people, we know everybody, we love seeing them, we love being out there, so it's really not a hardship.
Tell us about your cover woman this month, Melinda, on Austin Woman magazine. That's a great article, by the way.
Yes, yeah, Lynn Meredith. Really amazing people. I mean, they've just done a tremendous amount in the community. I'm sure that people are familiar with Lynn and Tom Meredith and their just their name, and you've seen it on a lot of things, and they certainly are out supporting so very many charitable organizations in the city. It also, the issue is really great because they have a beautiful home actually at the top of the Four Seasons. So there's some gorgeous photos that, featuring the inside of that home. So it's really, really kind of spectacular photography and views and all that good stuff. So, if you pick it up and read it, it's out there everywhere, or you can go online to austinwomanmagazine.com. We have a digital edition. You can also download an app, free app for both AW and ATX Man, so that's pretty exciting.
And then also I wanted to ask you, and I want to have the ladies look at this, the pink pages. I mean, It is so cool. I've been an advertiser in the pink pages for the last few years, and if women want to do business with women, then they can go to your pink pages. And I know it's on your website, and I know that there's an app, because I have it on my iPhone, so that I can see, who are the women that, to be able to pick out great women in the community to do business with. Now, are the pink pages closed, or is it, or can we still get ads?
You can still get them. The 2012 pink pages, they come out in February, and so right now we are selling into pink pages, and actually this is our 7th edition of this, and the reason why I decided to start it nearly 7 years ago is because I know that at the time, of course, before I had all those electronics, I had those 2 big giant Rolodexes, those circular ones,
right.
And I would go to all these women's events and meet all these women and want to support them. And then when I really got down to, okay, I need to buy a, fill in the blank, I couldn't find anybody. I didn't know how to actually resource and organize all those people and make sure that I was actually supporting the women that, I'd basically made my life's work to do. So, and I thought to myself, well, if I'm having this trouble and I'm more connected to women than most people, how is everybody else? And we really need to support each other. So that's when we launched Pink Pages. It's really a directory of women-owned businesses and businesses that cater to women, and it's sort of that put your money where your mouth is, support women-owned businesses, and we've made it very affordable. We've not changed the price in 7 years. You can get in for $150 for a listing, and of course it comes out in the magazine as a printed, separate booklet that you pull out of the February issue. We distribute it at all these events all throughout the year, and of course now we have an app that gives you directions. It gives you links to the phone numbers. It's really a fabulous app. So we're just trying to circle back around and give everybody the opportunity to be part of AW Media in some way, shape, or form. Whether you're a teeny tiny little business or whether you're a huge business, we've got something for you.
When you have, a lot of the businesses out there, anytime we say business, we really are saying competitors, competition. And in the media world, obviously there's full multimedia. Heck, we just brought cameras into the studio. We're now shooting in Ustream and 720p high definition because we want to be different. We want to.
Lisa's hair was messed up. Did
you notice that? Did you know? Thank you so much for bringing that up. That was, I was going to say something, but I didn't. Thank you. Oh, so wonderful.
Melinda.
See, I didn't notice it. But she walks in the studio. She's like, "Oh, my hair." I'm like, "What? Your hair looks fine." Well, I've been in the rain. I think that women. That's why we have the show. Actually, and the logo is a yin yang, black and pink, because it is a lot of that. What I think versus what a man thinks, but what a woman thinks, or versus that. But my question is, what are the challenges in the media world? You're in the magazine world. I'm in the radio world. We have our competition. We have things that we have to do. We have social media. We have a lot of things that aren't going to print anymore, and it's just going to apps and just going to online. What are the challenges to staying in print? What have you noticed that how it's changing over the last 10 years?
Well, it's certainly changed because there's so very many avenues in which you can, advertise, in which you can source, information and media, et cetera. But here's the really cool thing. There's been a big research study, national research study that's come out about magazines. And magazines actually are the number one medium to drive purchase decisions. And the whole philosophy behind it is that when you are reading a magazine, you're not doing anything else. You're not driving your car, you're not watching TV, you're not talking on the phone. You're at a moment in time. And you connect, and it's that high level of engagement that helps us actually say, that's an interesting product or service. Yeah, hey, I've needed that, and really think about it. So it's a pretty exciting time, actually, for magazines in particular because of that. And magazines are also the number one medium to drive people online, because that's what we all do. We see something, we see that cool pair of shoes, and we go, ooh, I'm going to look that up, and we go and we go to Nordstrom.com or whatever it may be that we're looking up and doing more research. So I think it's a really great time to be in particular in the magazine business, but it certainly it has diversified, and I think that we actually frankly more so than not only most of the local publications, but certainly even regional. And some national, we've got brand new website where all of our content is online. So if you just want to go on and read a story, you can read that. We've got an app for both magazines, so you can, look at it that way. We've got a digital edition online, so if you don't have an iPhone or an iPad, you can do a flip turning book. And of course, we are widely distributed. I mean, we're at over 1,000 locations around Austin.
1,300.
1,300. Well,
but who's counting?
The operations right here knows the details. I love that. But I think that's kind of our philosophy is we want to make sure that Austin Woman Magazine and ATX Man Magazine they're for and about the men and women in Austin. And to be that, we need to be able to reach those people in every way possible. And I think that's really what not only is going to, once the economy returns to some kind of normalcy, will jettison our business, but also what really helps our advertisers. It really drives people because they can get us anywhere. We don't make ourselves difficult to come by, and I think that's really critical.
Absolutely, and that's why we thank you for calling in today to our show, Women's Prospective, because it's because of people like you out there that are bringing information to the folks. We do it in our way, you do it in your way, and as our slogan goes, we're all in this together. And the bottom line is, it takes all of us out there talking with each other, taking care of each other. You mentioned about the economy. Some say this is the new normal. I hope not. I know you hope not, but I do know this, that together, we can accomplish many, many things, not only in Austin, but in this great country. And I thank you so much for what you're doing out there and the good work that you're doing and the great information and the professionalism. And that says a lot about you. And so I want to thank you so much for calling in today.
Well, thank you for having us.
Appreciate it very much. There's one thing I have to say before we go, and we have to thank Lisa Copeland, as she was actually February cover woman in 2011 this year. And thank you so much for having us on today.
Oh, absolutely.
Very good. Hey, maybe I could be a cover man at ATX one day.
You have to be pretty cool to get in the cover of ATX.
Cool.
I
got flipping cameras in my studio now. I mean, that's pretty cool, man. I mean, that's awesome.
We can talk.
There you
we
go.
We can talk.
we'll get a brew. All right. Thanks so much for calling in.
Bye, guys.
All right, thanks, guys. Have a great rest of your
Thank
Sunday.
you.
Bye-bye.
I could
Bye-bye.
do that. I could be on the cover of that. I could do it.
I don't know, but that seriously, that magazine is like Madison Avenue looking. It is just
Right.
It looks amazing. And I'll tell you, when I was on the cover in February, I mean, it was so high class. I mean, they brought out.
Do you have a copy?
Yeah, I got them.
How many copies do you
I
have?
don't know. My mother probably has more than anybody.
Oh,
I mean,
come on. How
because
many do you
literally the day it
How many
came
do you
out, she
have?
said,
Come
"I'm
on.
going to Whole Foods. I'm going to
10?
get 100%."
15?
Well, the magazine was very good and
Do you have
gave me
20?
several copies.
20 copies?
They
Wait,
were good to
25?
me.
How many
I
do
mean,
you
I'm
have?
not kidding you. They
Do you have-
sent out a hairstylist. They sent out makeup artists. I mean, a wardrobe person. I mean, they are first class.
Do you have them like inside on top of your coffee table so when people walk in? You have,
It's weird to see
you have
your
them-
whole
you
life
have
on
them
4
filed-
pages.
You have them kind of fanned out like a deck of cards?
No, but it's weird to see your whole life on 4 pages.
Hey, did
I'll
you
tell
notice
ya.
February's copy of... Folks,
Hey,
if you
it's
haven't...
November, but
here's a parting
take you
gift.
back. Let me take you back to February.
When we come back, we're going to talk about a few things. Hey, peruse through Facebook, folks. Go to womensperspective.com on Facebook.
trying to get it right
like
now.
us. And we're going to talk about a few things that are on there. I want to get Lisa's opinion, and I'm sure she might ask for mine. I don't
I'm
know.
trying to pull it up. My
When we come
Facebook's
back,
a little
folks,
slow.
a little more yin-yang. Just bringing the world together. We'll be back.
But it would be nothing, nothing, nothing.
The Craig Bushon Show. The Craig Bushon Show.
The Jerry Doyle Show.
Don't confuse my kindness with weakness. I would have to say the same thing to the government. Don't confuse our responsibility with it being a weakness, because we're only going to take so much. You can only push it so far. You can only lie to us so many times. You can only pander to so many special interest groups. You can only promise away our money to so many other people that don't pay into the system until it gets to the point where people say, you know what, I'm done.
Weeknights, 10 p.m. to 1 a.m. Talk Radio 96.3 and 1370.
If you know what it means to drain one from downtown.
Got it. Count that one.
Attack the rack.
Slammed it. Oh, yeah.
And drive from coast to coast, then you're a college hoops fan. The Aggies are your team. All season long, this is your radio home for the Hardwood.
Hi, this is Dave South, the voice of the Aggies. Austin's home for Aggie basketball, now on FM. The new Talk Radio, 96.3 and 1370.
It's Dennis Miller.
Get your pitching shoes. All right, I'm ready to pitch. Animal Planet. Octopi Wall Street. They don't lift any of their 8 arms to do anything. You know, you'd think like that if they were really serious about changing the country, they might dedicate 1, 2, even 3 arms. All 8 arms at their side.
They want government-sponsored 9th and 10th arms.
Yeah, and who's the sucker? Who's the sucker?
Weekdays from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m.
The new Talk Radio 96.3 and 1370.
Your healthy radio addiction.
We had victory over the Soviet Union, winning the Cold War. We built the single most powerful economy the world had ever seen. Through the Industrial Revolution, World War I, and capping off with World War II, building our country through the common sense values of personal responsibility. And the best that Obama can take away from any of this is the MSNBC mantra of the government has to do it or we're not good.
8 to 11 a.m. Sponsored by Roger Beasley Audi.
The Sean Hannity Show.
What you can't do is throw a half-baked, unsourced story out there, not allow the man being charged to respond to his accusers, and then
1 minute.
The job of the reporters to go into the details of exactly what happened. I don't think that's going to wash here. And if you're going to try and ruin a man's reputation and his ascendancy to a presidential bid, you better have a whole lot more than what the political story here is telling.
Sean Hannity, weekdays 2 to 5, sponsored by BMW of Austin.
Savage. I have no stock because to me it's betting on something I have no control over nor any real knowledge. It's no longer like investing in a company that I would say, okay, it's got growth, it's got earnings. Back in the 60s, you know, people would make a reasonable investment. They take a gamble on a new company, and it was based upon something real. And if its business grew, the stock went up, and people made money from it. That's a good system. That's what a stock market should be good for.
Michael Savage, 5 to 8 p.m.
Stand by.
Previously.
That's not what we live in the adult world. Are we cheating our kids? Shouldn't we teach them how to navigate the waters and to be strategic and to execute?
Not at 4 years old.
No, I mean, as they're growing up, period. They're little kids need to be able to negotiate on the... Folks, go to Facebook right now. Just go to Facebook right now. Welcome back, by the way. What's the name of the show again, Lisa?
Women's Prospective.
That's right.
Pink and black.
I love it.
Pink's my favorite color. Look at my phone. Everybody
I like
out
black.
there in the world.
I like black. I like Jonathan, too. He's black. You black?
God.
Hey, Jonathan, how's that baby? Are you still getting up with her every night?
Nah, she's just taking the majority of the get up.
Uh-huh, that's what I thought.
Well, she insists.
Uh-huh. I want to talk to your wife. I told you that. She and I need to chat.
Yeah, could she call into the show? It is Women's Prospective.
I want to verify some of those stories you told me about getting up and helping with that baby.
We'll see what's up. I'll see. I'll work on it.
So, Lisa, you love the posts. I mean, these posts are great. It's like a woman put them up. It's someone, the person who put these posts up on womensprospective.com, up on Facebook, folks. And the fast way to get there, okay, is just go to Craig Bushon Show and click on a link there. You can go to it, or just punch in
hair loss in women.
Yeah.
How about hair loss in men?
What happens all the time?
Well, I think we need to post it then.
Men deal with it all the time. It doesn't happen to women as much. What does it say here? It says, hey, it's good news that
it's based on hereditary.
Well, in stress.
Stress.
So if you reduce your stress, you may not lose your hair.
Okay. Well.
Says it right
there. Good to know.
Well, could you imagine? I mean, come on. What if you were losing your hair? You'd freak out.
Yes, I would.
Okay?
Yes.
I mean, that's a big deal for some women out there. The top 7 risk factors revealed in photos on CBS News.
Well, okay. It must have been a slow news day.
If it's on CBS News.
I'm thinking it's a slow news day.
I mean, what are these other posts I have up
I
here?
bet you Austin Woman Magazine would not run this article.
Whatever. Why not?
Because they're too classy.
I think that, well, wait a second. There's a lot of fine women out there.
Yes.
Okay. That are losing their hair.
Okay.
And that's a big problem to them.
It is.
Okay? And for them, maybe one person will click on that and it'll change their life. Sometimes it's about not doing the obvious.
How about the commercial diet schemes better than Doctors Help study finds? Oh,
yes.
Oh, that was posted too.
Yeah, commercial, right.
Weight Watchers are more effective and cheaper than family-based or family doctor-based services.
Yeah, which means, getting prescribed FinFin or something like that. Getting prescribed a dietary medicine type thing to lose weight is what I think it's talking about. As a matter of fact, we don't even have to know. I got my 1/10 flipping T-line here that takes like 45 seconds to load a page.
So have you ever done Weight Watchers?
Weight Watchers. Yeah, I do. I watch people walk by all the time. Constantly.
I just can't count points. I'm like, I don't know. I just had a carrot. How
many
points
ankles
is
must
that?
be killing you folks.
Ouch.
My son, I won't say which one because I have more than one.
Your son's such a nice young guy. Where is he today?
Eric,
he doesn't want to be on camera.
No, you know what he's
guess.
doing. He's an actor, He's in theater.
Oh.
And he is a...
I wonder where he gets that
He
from.
is one of the Musketeers. He is in his school play.
And you're not there?
I've been twice.
Oh, good. Okay.
I went last night for their senior night where they all went up on stage, and I am gonna post it up on Facebook though.
Oh, as you should.
Where they all take a bow and all that stuff.
But I just wonder where he gets his theatrics.
It's his 4th year.
Is it your wife?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's my wife.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. No, that's not her at all.
She needs to call in too.
Yeah, No.
Yes.
No. You guys could go have some tea or something. You can go do your hair together. Get your nails done.
Oh, there you go.
But let's see what the article says here. We've got to get this fixed. I mean, what is that? I mean, do I need to put a quarter?
Like on dial-up.
Do I get to put a quarter in this thing? Do I need to put a quarter in this and then it'll run? Here we go.
It's awful.
Commercial diet schemes better than doctors help. Study finds says commercial weight loss programs such as Weight Watchers and Slimming World. I've never even heard of Slimming. Have you heard of Slimming World?
I don't know, but that's the world that I want to live in.
Slimming World are more effective and cheaper than family doctor-based services led by specially trained staff, according to the findings of a study published on Friday. So,
So what does that mean?
I don't know. I can't
It's
scroll down the page.
Can't either.
I would tell you, with a global epidemic of obesity, okay, this is ridiculous, putting huge pressure on health budget. It's like you're doing your mouse on my computer, miss. Yes. With a global epidemic of obesity putting huge pressure on health budgets, researchers at Britain's Birmingham University watched to compare the effectiveness of doctor-led weight loss programs against several well-known. The results suggest that while commercial schemes generally help people lose weight, doctor-led programs do not.
Really? What's a commercial scheme?
Well, they said after 12 weeks, people in all the schemes, it's in German. Excuse me, you say in English, it's schemes,
How about New Zealand? I know you're still listening, Christopher.
Scheme.
I'm never going to mess that up again.
So all the schemes studied had achieved significant weight loss. So after 12 weeks, all of them in the schemes. But the average loss range from the highest at 9.7 pounds, with Weight Watchers down to 3 pounds in the program led by primary care staff. So it's really 3 to 1. So Weight Watchers works better than going to the doctor, but I think I know why.
Why?
Because I think people need coaching.
Oh,
I think people need help.
I just don't think I could stand up in front of a group and talk about my eating habits.
Well,
I don't know.
But I think part of it's maybe they don't always get in front of people. They need to have someone to talk to, a peer maybe, or someone that
Isn't Weight Watchers like meetings?
It can be, but I think they do both.
I think they make you get on a scale in front of everybody. I think I've done it one time.
That's awesome.
That is not
Can you heckle?
No, I won't even get on the scale.
Oh,
I don't believe in scales.
You are fat.
Yeah. I have 3 pairs of jeans. Super skinny. I'm looking okay, and oh my God, I better get to Weight Watchers. So 3 pairs, and it just depends on which one fits.
So what's the fluctuation for you? How many pounds? If you go, what's the pound difference you have to change pants?
I mean, ladies, really? Is he really doing this?
Yes,
to me?
I am.
And I'm on like streaming
I need to know.
television.
I need to know.
Yeah. No, I don't know if I change pants. They just get tighter.
Well, you have 3 different sizes, so you
I have 3 different cuts. Yeah.
Oh, cuts.
Cuts. Yes. There's certain pants you can wear when you're skinny time and in your medium time, but I'll tell you, I think stress drives most of it, and lack of exercise.
And hair loss. So.
Yeah.
Imagine if you have to wear fat pants and you're losing your hair.
Not good.
That's a problem.
It is a problem.
So the way to fix that is one of them is go to Weight Watchers. But I think it's because it's peer-to-peer, because you have someone working with you. They're coaching you along. They're showing you what they're holding you accountable. They're asking you the type of questions.
They don't take the Twinkies out of your cabinet, though. Late night stress. It's like I'll just have.
What? Well, that's up to the person to do that.
Skinny Cow ice cream, though. I think it's probably one of the best ever made.
I like Skinny Cow.
I love it. Yeah. So, but Weight Watchers, I don't know.
Why not? It says, what goes on to say that Weight Watchers and Slimming World are both group-based weight loss schemes. I love schemes. Where people trying to shed pounds are given dieting tips and encouraged to go to weekly meetings to be weighed and discuss their progress with other members. At a cost of roughly $64 for 12 weeks, they are also relatively inexpensive, particularly when compared to the billions of dollars spent on healthcare for overweight and obese people worldwide every year. So I can see it now.
What?
That your Canadian firefighter friends
yes.
would say that a good government would give every person who's overweight a free membership to Weight Watchers or Slim Place.
They're giving them everything else.
They should have this because it's going to help us reduce our costs on healthcare.
I think you should run for prime minister.
I think that's going to happen. I could see it now, and it's something that it's a great sell. I think that you could. Oh yeah, I think the women would get behind it. I do. Unfortunately, that's how they could suck socialism right into this capitalist market.
There you go. But I think capitalism at its best is these dieting centers, because you're getting women to come in and pay a lot of money to do what's probably not going to happen anyways, but it makes them feel better. I mean, I've got a lot of friends who have gone through, quick weight loss and some of those, and I'll tell you, they look great. And I'll tell you the new big deal right now, and I've got a couple friends doing it, is the HCG diet, 500 calories a day. They are shrinking away.
Those don't work.
Well, if you saw my 2 girlfriends,
but they work temporarily. You can't live like that. They're life decisions you have to make. You've got to make a life decision.
Put down the Twinkies and
If they
walk
had a
away.
coach, what they need is a coach.
What is the coach going to do?
The coach is going to hold them. We're going to have meetings with them. Let's say a good coach would meet with them once a week. They'll go to their office and talk to them.
And
they'll talk to them on the phone.
And says what?
And hold them accountable to what they're doing. Make them write it down. Ask them probing questions. Let them write down what they need to do, and give them some action items and hold them accountable. That's what they should do.
1 hour a week, and we're going to change your life.
Well, no, but it's got to be buy-in. People see the problem with diets like that is diets don't work. I don't think diets work. It has to be a life change. Okay? You have to change the way you do your life. You have to change your mantra. You have to change what you do.
Exercise. How do busy people like us, get up in the morning and, the mornings I do go exercise, I have to get up at 5 a.m. I've got to be at the gym by 5:30 so I can work out and then get ready and, walk into the dealership by 9 a.m.
Let me quote a good friend of mine. You may know his name, Zig Ziglar.
Good friend?
Yes.
I like that guy.
And let me tell you something.
What?
He would say, you are too busy, Lisa Copeland, to not get up at 5 a.m. and work out every day. You're too busy not to.
Wow. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and post that on my Facebook page. I am too busy. I mean,
You're
you
too
can almost
busy
like
not
say that
to
in the
do
mirror
it.
12 times.
That's right. Well, the key is 21 times, but some say 18. But
Zig say that
18 times, yes.
What do they call it? Reaffirmation?
Yeah, reaffirmation.
Reaffirmation.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, reaffirmation, reaffirm through cognitive thinking.
Too busy not to get up at 5 a.m. and hit the gym.
You're too busy not to.
Yes, this is it.
Because if you don't take care of, listen, if you had a thoroughbred racehorse, would you feed it the best food in the world? If you had $1 million thoroughbred racehorse that you took to the track, every month, would you feed it the best food in the world?
I would, and I can tell you, if I had that too, I wouldn't have to get up at 5 a.m.
You wouldn't have to walk the horse.
Because, I would have this great life and probably make a ton of money.
I would, but you'd still have to get up and exercise.
Right.
So the key is,
not at 5 a.m.
Folks, I'm telling you something. The key is consistency. Stick to something. Stick to it. And consistency. And I don't believe in diets because diets are temporary. It is the life change that gets you to do something different. Write it down.
But I'll tell you, Craig, men have it so much easier.
What?
Oh, my gosh. On losing weight, I mean, it's easy. I don't know. The fat just melts off. I mean, go to a no-carb diet, and men just go like this big. They just get very, very tiny, very, very quickly.
I understand. There is a biological difference.
I'm telling you, my friends and I, we try something, and we're like, I had a couple friends and a husband and a wife, and they both did it, and she called me one night, and she was so mad. She goes, we eat the same. It's whatever, and she's like, and he's lost 14 pounds, and I've lost 3. I'm like, I know. It isn't fair.
Yeah, but see, girls get dates easier than men.
And your point is what?
My point is that there is a give back in life. We have to deal with that. You have to deal with that.
Yeah, okay.
In the end, I believe it's a life decision. Listen, I have a wife. I have a daughter. I understand that people, listen, and myself, I mean, I want to be in shape. I want to do the things. It's a life decision.
So what do you do? Tell us what you do.
What do I
told you what I do.
Well,
or try
to stay pristine.
To stay fabulous.
I had to pose for the camera.
Oh.
The key is, I tell you, one thing is, try to make it convenient. Try to make whatever you have to do all the time convenient. If you put hurdles in your way, if you put hurdles in your way, you'll find that those will be your excuses. You'll rationalize why you can't do something. So what do you do?
Quit your job. Job's a hurdle.
Well, do what it takes to quit your job.
Okay.
That's
maybe I need to find a racehorse.
You might have to.
I don't know.
You might need something to ride.
Well, I sure hope my boss isn't listening to this. He'd be like, want to quit your job, huh?
Let me tell you, his job, any boss's job, should make it that you can make as much money as possible so you can spend as much quality time with your family as you can. That's what great bosses do.
That boss should run for president.
Right.
Whenever we find that person, they need to run for president.
I'll be on the ballot in 2016.
All right, I'll vote for you.
But I got to tell you something that I want to answer your question. It's about getting rid of the hurdles that are in your way. And one of the keys is not placing the hurdle in your way. A lot of us sabotage ourselves. Mm-hmm. We put things in our way. We've rationalized, well, I'll do it tomorrow. Tomorrow is the greatest labor-saving device ever invented by human beings. I'll do it tomorrow.
I liked that quote you just said.
I know.
That was good. It's rolled off your tongue.
It's a bumper sticker.
Yeah.
And as another one, only you hold the map to the treasures of your life. I can't give you my map. You can ask me 1,000 ways on how I do what I do. It's my map. But what you can learn is pieces of it. It's like taking a trip. If we're going to go from here to Chicago, and there were no road signs, how would we get there and how long would it take?
My iPhone GPS.
No, if there were no road signs, okay, and you had no GPS, you had no nothing, and it was 1810.
I wouldn't even know how to do it.
That's exactly right. So it took a long, long time to get to a short distance, and somehow people did it back then. It's the rough road.
But how about all of our ladies out there, the ones that work and they've got to get up early in the morning and they got to get their kids to daycare and get themselves together and make lunches?
Okay.
I'm telling you, the ladies have it tougher when it comes to those roadblocks.
Well,
because, the guys can just get up. It takes them 20 minutes to get ready. The wife's probably handling the kids, getting them to daycare, and he goes to the gym.
I'll answer that question.
Because I see those guys at the gym because I don't have little kids anymore.
I'll answer that question.
I'm like, I bet your wife is home fixing breakfast and getting the kids ready.
Their first step to fixing it, to fixing that problem, is to listen to this show.
I agree.
That's the first way to fix it.
Because I have your back, ladies.
Because you're not going to get any information like this, specific like this, with this type of dialogue live, where you can call in if you want. We haven't opened up the lines yet, but we will. Coming soon. And you can't get it anywhere else. But ultimately, how do you answer that? People are busy. But I go right back to what Zig said. You're too busy not to. The bottom line is how we prioritize our things is what makes us who we are. It's not the situation that defines you, folks. It's what you do in the situation that does.
But I think men and women have two different situations.
Well, of course.
On what they have to get done.
Okay.
They do.
Yes.
Especially if that woman works and she's got 2 small children. I promise you, she's up trying to get herself ready and get her kids ready.
So why does she work?
Well, most people in America, both people have to work. I mean, I worked the whole time my kids were little. I had to.
So what's the answer then? If we have both people that are working...
Move to Canada, because then the government will take care of you.
Socialism is the key.
That's it.
But the bottom line is,
to Canada.
It's an important subject because a lot of people find excuses on why they can't do something. Can't is a made-up word by human beings. Can't. Can't is it's the enemy of you accomplishing things. And can't is a huge... Get rid of it in your dialogue. Okay? If you can't do something, explain to yourself why you can't and see if you can get around it. But if you're really busy, okay, then you need to take time. There's another saying, take time to be quiet.
Right.
Because if you don't take time to be quiet, then you can't get your thoughts straight. And a lot of people have wasted time. I challenge anyone out there, I don't care how busy they are, they have 15 minutes a day. I challenge them. And if they're tired, when people say, well, I'm tired, I can't do it, I'm so tired, I had to change this, that, and I got to go here, and I got to go there. You know what? And the better shape you get in, the more energy you have, and the more things that you can do. And it's really, that's the conundrum. You've got to force yourself to begin with. That's the 18 times or the 21 times of doing something. You have to force yourself to do it. So what do? I try to take all the obstacles out of my way. I used to have to go to the gym. I'd go to the gym. And I'd find an excuse. Oh, I get home. I don't want to go to the gym. What I like about the gym, I had a steam room, I played racquetball, and I was a highly competitive racquetball player. Some of you are listening, you were on my team, I know it was awesome. And basketball, was freaking great, I know. It was a great crossover, I know. But in the end, it was excuses, okay? Right. So I put a gym in my house. I put a total gym at my house. And I have my own space where if I just want to go work out, I can just go work out now. And it helps, and it works. And that's just one obstacle I got out of my way. I just think it's about attacking one thing at a time, not everything at once.
You know, and I was going to, my husband, I was going to talk to him this week about the fact maybe I should not have an office at my house since I don't work at the house. I should have a gym.
Yes.
And I know he's listening right now. So, honey, we'll have that conversation when I get home tonight. But
he could build it. You wouldn't even notice.
I wouldn't notice. Kind of like that hot tub.
Yeah.
I mean,
have you used it yet?
Yeah, once or twice because I'm so busy.
Yeah.
But, so for my birthday, my husband put in a hot tub and, he had people out there and they wired it and they did all kinds of stuff. And literally on the day that he gave it to me, I was like, when did you do this? He's like, we've been working on it for a week. I'm like, this is bad. This is when you know you leave too early and come home too late. When you don't see major construction going on at your house.
Some people are addicted to the chaos.
I think that's me.
Some people don't want time to be quiet with themselves.
Yeah.
You know, the biggest thing, what makes people fail in the long run, in my opinion, especially relationships, marriages. We have maybe 2 minutes left, I think, Jonathan. 2 or 3. I can't see. In the end, what happens is that we stay so busy being busy and the empty nest syndrome, that kind of stuff. And a lot of relationships don't end up well because they're so busy not being a relationship. They're so busy being busy that once the kids are grown, divorce rate is very, very high in empty nesters. Why? Because they got married to begin with. They got married for a certain reason. Then they have the kids. Then they stay busy, be busy, are busy. And then the kids move out and they are busy, be busy. Hey, I love you. High five. What's going on? How you doing? Yada, yada, yada. But the passion, compassion, and going on a date. I had a friend of mine call me. He said he's getting a divorce.
Oh.
I won't mention his name. He says his wife doesn't love him anymore.
Oh, that's not good.
And he's a very serious guy. He's a very analytical guy, and he's in finance, as a matter of fact. And I said, when's the last time you acted like you were 19?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I said to him. I said, because they're still married, but they're not paying attention to each other. I said, you need to woo her like you're 19 again. Yeah. You need to do all those things like you're 19 again. And if in the end you can't win her back by live the chick flick.
Oh, I like that. Now, I love being an empty nester. Like when my son moved home this summer, which I know he's probably listening to this, I was like, when are you going back to college? And I mourned when my children left. I thought it was the end of me. And now, no,
Right.
I don't want them moving home. I want them to have these great lives. And we love being empty nesters because
it's the balance, it's the relationship. But some people don't have that.
I know.
And some people aren't attracted to each other anymore, for example, because they don't take care of their physical side.
Right.
Okay. And the physical side of a relationship is a very, very important side. You know, we are visual people.
Right.
Okay. You know, some people are stimulated by vision, some people are stimulated by talk, some people by by scent, whatever. And all of us are a little bit. But next week, I think what'll be cool to focus on is just that. How are people dealing with that situation? A lot of people are struggling to stay with their significant other, with their spouse, because they don't feel they're attracted to them anymore.
Well, that's too bad, because I think that's kind of when life begins. You know, you've raised 2 great kids, and they're successful, and I think you can just kind of sit back and go, okay, it's our turn. It's our turn to go have fun and maybe spend some money that we wouldn't have spent before because, you know, we were spending it on the kids. And go places and to travel and not have to worry about who's going to pick up the kids and go out. I think that'll be a good topic.
Yes.
Okay.
So we have our homework, folks. And for you, we might open up the lines. That might be a good week.
Ooh, that would be a good week. I'm going to make sure we have some people.
We'll have to try to find a good guest for that.
Maybe Dr. Laura?
Yeah. Well,
why don't you call her up?
She used to be on the station, but she's on that other stuff now.
Oh, yeah.
But we'll find somebody for you, folks. I'm Craig Bushon.
I'm Lisa Copeland. Have a great week.
And this is Women's Perspective.
KJCE, rolling with Austin. KKM.